Hey guys, well this is going to be a part 2 to the video that I posted yesterday regarding removing that Montipora. Now right now I'm just here in the bucket going through and picking out pieces that I want to make frags of. Of course not all of it is going to work out for frags, but we do have some big chunks with some pieces there that I can snip off and then make some frags out of. I just felt bad throwing the whole thing out. You know, the coral can live on in somebody else's tank that doesn't mind. I got some snails there that doesn't mind having it growing, and I just felt bad throwing out all of it. So I'm in here just picking out pieces, and we'll be fragging them out here in a little bit. Now you can probably hear in the background that loud noise is actually doing some bubble scrubbing with the power heads in the 300. And I decided to do this after I already made yesterday's video. I just kind of ended it, so I figured this would be like a part 2. Now, the reason why I'm doing the bubble scrubbing is because I felt there was a lot of slime. Once I turned the power heads on, there was just a ton of slime getting around the tank. It was touching the acros, and it just didn't look very good. And the last thing I want is Montipora slime and gunk getting all over my acroporas, because it might just cause issues and stress and damage the skin. And, you know, we don't want to cause any more problems in the tank other than what we just did, removing all that coral. So I'm going to run the bubble scrubbing. You guys have some video overlaid by now. I'm going to run the bubble scrubbing for about an hour and a half or so, and then I'm going to get to editing the video that I'm going to upload today. It's Tuesday, and then I'm going to get to editing that, and then what I'll do is just kind of see how the slime is in the tank once we have the power heads on full blast. And then if I need to run it a little bit longer, I will. But other than that, the bubble scrubbing is really going to help clean the tank, and I usually do it during my water changes anyways. And you guys know that if you've been following the channel for a bit. If you're not familiar with bubble scrubbing, there is a video on the channel. I'll try to find it and put it in the description. But yeah, there's a ton of coral in here, and I could just feel the slime. And anybody who's cut up Monty knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, just going to go ahead and go through and cut up a majority of this. I'll show you guys the whole fragging process once I get through, and then yeah, that'll be it for this video. I'll show you guys the bubble scrubbing. All right. Alright, so I managed to get about 27 frags of the purple Monty from that bucket. As you can see, they're all here. They're looking pretty good. Now, the rest of the coral in that bucket is just too crushed up or too small or too weird of an angle. Anybody who's ever fragged Monty knows that it has to be relatively flat, or it's not going to stick to the plug very well. And then if you turn your power heads on, it's just going to float around the tank. So these are the ones that I actually found that would glue pretty good to the frag plug. So we'll see how they do over the next couple weeks. Once they're completely healed, I'll go ahead and throw them on the website, and I'll let you guys know ahead of time, either via the community tab or Instagram. And yeah, so let's go to move over to the bubble scrubbing. Alright, so here's a quick look at the tank while I'm bubble scrubbing. It's going to be a little loud, so I'll try to talk over it. But basically what I did is I went ahead and took the overflows out. Let me get my stool over here. I went ahead and took off my H2 overflows, which sit over here. And basically that lowers the water level, so I can go ahead and bring my power heads up so they suck in the air. Of course, they're at 100%. And that just mixes up all the air and the water, and it causes it to be bubbly, that's what you want to call it. And that basically sticks to everything. As you can see, that's where I cut the Monty. It's really hard to see with all the bubbles, but basically it attaches itself to everything and floats up to the surface, goes down into the overflow, and then down into the sump. Now I did make sure I turned the skimmer off, and I just put these filter socks in. You can see that it's already overflown. So I'm going to have to change those out again, just because they fill up pretty quickly with all that. So it just means that it is working, it is removing stuff, and I'll probably run it for another half an hour. It's been a little bit now, it's been about a half an hour so far. And change out those filter socks real quick, keep running it, and we should be good to go. But yeah, so that's about it. That's a quick update. It's a little bit of a part 2 just because I couldn't add it to the previous video. And so far the tank is reacting pretty well. I got most of the slime off, any of the acros and stuff like that it was starting to attach to that I mentioned earlier. And that was the whole goal of the bubble scrubbing, is to get that slime off, which I have been actively seeing it lift up and go to the surface. So that means I don't really have to worry about anything dying because of removing all that Monty, or at least, you know, due to the whole process. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I will see you later with another video. All right. Well, guys, it's been about 24 hours since I removed that Montipora, did the bubble scrubbing, and I wanted to go over kind of how the tank has reacted and some other things that I've done since then. Now, other than there just being a ton of detritus all over the tank, some new frags that the fish just broke off last night I got to pick out. Everything is doing pretty well. I did go in there this morning, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, and I started picking at the Monty a little bit more. Now, some of you guys were recommending putting putty on there or boiling water to kill it off completely. I don't really do stuff like that, mainly because the putty with the Nios Quantum 300, the protein skimmer I have here, if I put any putty in this tank, even just the little bit I used a while back to fix one of the rock structures, it freaks out. It takes days for it to calm down, and you know, it just is a huge mess. I could really pull out a lot of water from this tank really quickly with that skimmer, so it's just not worth it. I like to just go in here and simply pick at it every day. Eventually it will completely die and just become part of the rock, and then we can put some more coral there. A lot of you guys had recommendations on what coral to put. As I mentioned, I am going to put some of that $500 FLO, which you can see in the back there, and then that's the definite piece, but there are some other ones that I'm thinking about, some higher end stuff with Walt Disney and that, but the Walt Disney is mainly going to go into the 40 gallon, and I don't have my quarantine tank set up right now for new coral, so I probably won't add anything new to this tank for a while, because I have to, of course, get it through a 60-day quarantine, especially acros. So we'll have to set that up and go through that whole process before we get in there, but it might be worth something. It might be worth doing that early, getting that set up, so when I get back from hunting, I can go in and throw some corals and the tank will be established and ready to go. Yeah, but other than that, the tank is doing pretty good. Polyp extension is as to be expected. It's not perfect, but the bubble scrubbing always helps to bring out some of the polyp extension, which is one of the reasons why I like to do it during my water changes. Also, one of you guys asked to do a video about the water change. I will attempt to record one. I'll probably do it. I'll try to do it tomorrow, if not Friday. I want to get a couple more videos out before the end of the week, because I am leaving and I won't have any content. Or maybe I'll make a video or something and save it and kind of post it during my little mini hunting vacation, just so you guys have some content. We'll see how that works out. I did go through and frag out a ton of coral, so the frag tank here is getting pretty full. A lot of stuff you guys know when you buy from me, it has to be healed. So, you know, it gets cut, it sits over here. As it heals, it works its way over to the right-hand side, and then it goes up for sale on the website, which then it comes over here and goes in the WYSIWYG section. I mentioned in the previous video, I don't really have any imported coral right now, and that's the system that the light is off over here. The imported system. I don't have any coral in there right now, or at least very little coral, because, well, I'm going away, and I'll take care of that when I get back. But there are still frags from the 300, and of course there's some stuff that definitely needs to get put up on the website soon. It's, you know, it's a work in progress. I did go ahead and also put a piece of that Monty. You guys ain't gonna be able to see that piece of that green Monty, as I mentioned here. So that'll grow out on the back. I removed all that Monty off the bottom and fragged it out, which you guys just saw. And this little tank is doing pretty damn good. A lot of growth. Everything is encrusted. Polyp extension is good. Growth is good. And I just need more coral to put in the tank. And as I mentioned, need to get the quarantine tank set up so I can get that done. But yeah, that's about it. Can't really think of anything else I wanted to tell you guys. I'm trying to, I wouldn't say reinvent myself, because that's not appropriate term for it, but I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of a viewer of the channel. So when I go and watch channels, like if I'm watching hunting channels or even just commentary and stuff like that, there's a certain type of person I'm looking for, as in a person that's more, I guess, personable and puts up content regularly, and it doesn't have to be so structured all the time, which kind of goes against who I am as a person. I like to have, you know, dress right dress kind of structure in my life and how I control my content. Yeah, my therapist says that I should probably get away from that a little bit. So, yeah. So, oh yeah, by the way, if you guys didn't think I was in therapy, you're out of your freaking mind. I've been in therapy for 10 years. You know, you'd be surprised what a little deployment will do to you. So yeah, she says that I should start making life a little bit unstructured, if that's the word I'm looking for. And I figure that's going to come over here to the YouTube channel. I'm going to try to do some more, you know, even short videos, just chit-chat and stuff like that, and just kind of give you guys a little bit more glimpse of what's going on here in the fish room. If you think that's a good idea, let me know in the comment section. And as you guys have probably noticed, I'm really trying to get in and talk to more people in the comment section, trying to get out there, talk to more creators. Again, part of the whole therapy thing, I got to get out there and start getting over some of my social anxiety issues, you know. So we'll talk about that later on, if something that you guys are interested in. But I'm not one to just kind of spill my guts and tell you everything. Yeah, so it is what it is, and yep, I love this damn tank, and I appreciate all the support and the compliments I get on this tank. Granted, it is very young, it's doing great, and as somebody mentioned, you'll be surprised the problems you have with the tank when it's actually doing really well, and that's exactly what we ran into with our Monty. So appreciate all the support, and I will see you guys tomorrow. least try it tomorrow. If not, definitely before the end of the week. All right, peace.